The 2022 hurricane season is fast approaching, and the experts at the Colorado State University are already expecting an above-average season in hurricane activity. More named storms, more hurricanes, and more major hurricanes than is average. To understand why we're expecting an above-average hurricane season, you have to understand how hurricanes operate. They are massive heat engines that transfer warm ocean water energy into the atmosphere. Taking a look inside one of these hurricanes shows you how that is accomplished. On either side of the eye of a hurricane are rain bands. That is where the energy from these surface temperature warm ocean waters is transferred into the storm, leading to prolific rainfall, flooding rainfall, and wind speeds in excess of 150 miles per hour in the strongest examples. But these storms are only strongest when the atmospheric conditions are just right. If you have light winds from floor to ceiling, then these storms can be very organized, can be very strong, and they are free to spin up as fast as they want. But if you add wind shear into the equation or stronger winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere, these storms can get bent from one direction to the other. They can get torn apart, less likely to be strong and less likely to be long-lived. That brings me to La Nina, which is currently in effect in the equatorial Pacific Ocean waters. Those below average sea surface temperatures currently are strongest La Nina since the year 2000. That changes the behavior of the upper level winds in the northern hemisphere. Namely, it keeps our jet stream farther towards the north in the northern hemisphere and reduces the amount of wind shear in the tropical Atlantic. With less wind shear, hurricanes are likely to be stronger and longer lived. That brings me to part two of the equation: sea surface temperatures, the fuel needed for these storms to intensify. Well, the sea surface temperatures are already running a fever. In the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean, already seeing buoys reporting temperatures 75 to 85 degrees, even in the western Gulf of Mexico, running a fever of a few degrees closer to 80. So all the ingredients are there for what could be an above average season in hurricane activity. As for when this really starts to take off, our hurricane season starts to ramp up in the middle of August, but it peaks closer to September 10th. I'm Avery Tomasco, meteorologist for CBS Austin News. That's a look at your hurricane season forecast.